Hi guys and welcome to prediction week 30, and we start with the lunchtime kickoff, which is Crystal Palace versus Brighton. This could be quite a tough game. I wouldn't say that Palace is like fighting, but they are still down the bottom. Brighton, fighting at the moment for their lives. Again, I think it's going to be a tough game, like I said, but I'm going to go for Crystal Palace to nick it as they are at home. So I'm going to go Crystal Palace 2, Brighton 1. On to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We have Huddersfield versus Bournemouth. Again, tough game. Huddersfield are more or less, dead and buried now, which sometimes can help you a little bit. Kind of like takes the pressure off you, and you can start getting some points. And you can probably start, as well, I know it sounds crazy, but start a lot of preparing yourself for next season. Who you want to stay, who you think's not really worthy. So that's practically what Huddersfield are doing at the moment. Bournemouth, I think they're about 12th or 11th in the table. But again, I'm going to go for a tight draw because I said, Huddersfield haven't really got much pressure now. All the pressure's on Bournemouth. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go Huddersfield 1, Bournemouth 1. We then have Southampton versus Tottenham. Tottenham haven't been looking great lately. Yes, I know they qualified for the quarterfinals on Tuesday night against Borussia Dortmund. But they wasn't great against Arsenal. I thought they had about half an hour against Arsenal. I thought Arsenal controlled the game for about 70 minutes. And I thought that Tottenham had about a half an hour spell. Yes, it wasn't a penalty for us. I was gutted that we didn't score it, but it wasn't a penalty. And yes, Harry Kane was offside, but Mustafi should know better, pushing him over like that. It was, you're always taking that chance in case Larson doesn't see the offside, which he didn't. And the ref standing right there, of course he's going to see you pushing him over. Stupid defending. Well, it's not even defending, is it? It's just, you know what I mean? I don't even know what it is. Tottenham not looking great at the moment. Southampton doing okay. Went to Old Trafford last week. Yes, they did lose, but no one thought they'd put up a fight like that. 3-2 in the end. And I'm going to give something to Southampton this weekend. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go Southampton 1, Tottenham 1. We then have Leicester versus Fulham. Again, Fulham down the bottom, probably practically more or less gone as well. Pressure off them a little bit. Leicester, they're about 8th or 9th in the table. It is at Leicester, so I'm going to go for Leicester to nick it. I'm going to go Leicester 2, Fulham 1. Cardiff versus West Ham. Again, West Ham aren't really going anywhere. They're about 13th, 14th in the table. Cardiff down the bottom. Again, all the pressure off them. But I'm going to go for West Ham to nick it. I'm going to go Cardiff 1, West Ham 2. Newcastle versus Everton. We all watched the derby last week. Well, most of us did anyway. The Merseyside derby, not the greatest derby in the world, to tell you the truth. 0-0. Everton on their behalf can say that they defended superbly. Probably maybe even disappointed not to even get 3 points. I thought they had some good chances, as did Liverpool. But being at home, you thought maybe Everton could spare on a little bit and maybe nick it. They didn't. Again, another tough test for Everton though this weekend against Newcastle. Again, they're down the bottom fighting for points. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Everton 1. At 5:30 we have Manchester City versus Watford. And again, was it Liverpool who stuffed the stuffing out of Watford the other week? So I'm going to go for a similar result. I'm going to go Manchester City 3, Watford 1. But again, Manchester City not looking great at the moment. They're just edging games at the moment. 1-0's here. Was it 2 on the other week? Excuse me. So they're not looking great. So everyone's going about Liverpool bottling the title challenge. But as I say, Manchester City, yes, they're picking up results, but they're not looking great. So maybe when they've got Manchester United in a couple of weeks, that could be a real test for them. Who knows? On to the Sunday kickoffs. We have Super Sunday. 12 o'clock, Liverpool versus Burnley. Again, you could say with Liverpool, they should have took their chances against Everton last week. Salah could have had a bloody hat-trick in the first half. Mane nearly scored. And you've got to say, their best signing has got to be Virgil van Dijk. He was there for every single move that Everton made last week. And he was roaring at his defenders, telling them to get back and spurring them all on. And why they've not made this guy the Liverpool captain, I do not know. Jordan Henderson, why is he still the Liverpool captain? He can't even get into the side after time. If I was Jurgen Klopp, and let's say that they don't win the title, shall I say, for instance, and they give him an extension, make him club captain. And even if they do win the title, obviously I think they would give Jurgen Klopp an extension if they did win the title. That's the first thing that I would do is give Virgil van Dijk the captaincy, because he has played one major massive part in this title race if they win it as well. So yeah, captain all day long for me. I was really gutted when Arsenal didn't get him. Onto the game, again Burnley will make it tough, but I don't think Liverpool can afford many more slip-ups, so I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Burnley 0. At 2:05 we have Chelsea versus Wolves. Again, Chelsea not looking great. Yes, I know they won yesterday. They won last week against Fulham. Again, that was quite edgy though. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. Did he finish 3-1 in there? I can't remember if it finished 3-1 or 2-1. My brain can't think that far back. But they won anyway. I'm going to give a result to Wolves, because I think Wolves is a different test for Chelsea. We know that they've gone to the Emirates. We know that they've gone to Old Trafford and got a result there, and they could have actually won at those two games as well. So who knows? And they've got Manchester United in the FA Cup next week. So if they can get a result out of this one, who knows? Going into the FA Cup, building on some confidence. But for the game, I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. And at 4:30 we have Arsenal versus Manchester United. It's kind of like a do or die for Arsenal, isn't it? For this top four race. Draw to Manchester United. It's not all over. Only a point behind them. But lose to Manchester United, 4 points behind them. Are Manchester United going to lose 4 more points? I don't think so. So I think if Arsenal lose this game to Manchester United, I think it's all over. Currently 3-1 down in the bloody Europa League at this moment in time. I do think Arsenal can turn that round. I really do at home. But 3-1 isn't great, isn't it? Losing to bloody 3-1 to Farmers for your confidence. Lacazette is back for this game because he couldn't play in the Europa League due to a red card. Torreira can't play for this game because he got a 3-game suspension. And there's someone else as well. I don't think... Socrates, I think he can play for this game, but I think it's the next game that he can't play in the Europa League. So we've pretty much got a good back four for the Manchester United game, because Socrates can play and he is our best, defender. Don't really want to see Mustafi anywhere near this blooming team. I'd rather Carl Jenkinson or Lincoln Steiner comes in at right back rather than Mustafi. I don't know what to do, I was sitting there and I was thinking, I don't know what to do. Arsenal drawing to Tottenham last week and then losing 3-1 to Farmers, whereas Manchester United, they just everything's going the bloody way at the moment, isn't it? I mean, they went 1-0 down to Southampton last week and ended up winning 3-2. Got a penalty in the last minute against PSG, ended up going through. Just everything's just going right for them at the moment. However, I always say it's always got to come to an end. You can't keep getting lucky. I really, 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 really gave this some consideration. And I did also say my expectation was get 4 points out of the next 2 games, which is Manchester United and Tottenham. Got the point against Tottenham. Can they get the 3 points against Manchester United? I really don't know. But I bit the bullet. Fuck it, I went for it. I went Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1. And that's only because I feel that we do have a better, strong back four than them. And I do think that we was the better side for that first half an hour of the FA Cup until Socrates went off injured. He's playing in this game. Leno will be in this game. Practically our best starting 11 apart from Torreira will be in this game. I don't know about Manu. I don't know if Lingard's back or Mata or any of those. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I bit the bullet. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1. Practically, just when it's all said and done, because we bloody well have to. If I was Unai Emery, I'd say, well, basically, lads, you have to. Can't afford to lose. Don't really want to draw. So, yeah, if you win this game, it's back in your own hands, isn't it, really? So, yeah, stop fucking about. and just go and bloody beat them. I don't care how you do it, just go and beat them. And that's it. So, until then, I'll see you next week for next week's predictions. And even though some teams aren't playing next week due to the FA Cup, we always do their predictions as well for when they do face each other, like in the midweek action. So until then, I'll see you next week, guys.